The Blast on spectator mode's awesome. I don't know if y'all heard what's happening with Blast on, but it's aggravating as someone who produces content for that game. So, some dingus flopper at fucking Oculus decided to tell everyone, hey, the game's gonna have ads. Strike Steel. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, here's how you beat me. If you are questioning how you beat the unstoppable strategy of just spamming the same shot at your opponent over and over again in the shortest possible method, they were a dingus fucking flopper. Yeah, they were. Really, the real answer here is that you should block. And I know that sounds simple, but let me explain. No matter what, if you block your opponent's ball, they cannot get a strike on it, right? So if you block your opponent, they might get the ball. Ooh, hydroxyde taking his first point against Fry here. Ooh, and Fry taking it right back, though. I'll try and see if I can't say here. The real answer, to go into a bit more depth, is that you want to reflect it on one of the inside corners close to your foul line. What that's going to do is it's going to have the ball take the longest possible route back to your opponent. So they'll have wasted all that time in which you can get strikes up on them and get your shield back before they can throw another ball. So you can see right now that they're kind of just going back and forth, taking strikes. Neither one's really looking to give up any strikes except for Hydroxyde there, who did just give up one strike. But you'll see that eventually at some point one of them will just hold the ball and block. Or at least hopefully. And we'll be able to see exactly what happens. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Hydroxide's getting greedy with them. Fry's now slightly up on strikes. Okay, you can see there how he reflected it, but he reflected it to the foul line. Fry taking his second point. He reflected it to the foul line, and that actually resulted in Fry getting his ball back faster than he otherwise would, and he takes a third point there. Hydroxide's really going to have to try to get these 2 points back. Woo! There we go, there we go. Oh, there we go. He takes it right back. There we go, there we go, there we go. Oh, yeah, so anyways, this dingus flopper decided to make a blog post about how Blaston's getting ads. And then the Blaston devs came out and said, actually, this is just a temporary test that we were going to be part of, like, later in the summer. Fry taking round one. But, of course, the entire internet, all they're seeing is, hey, the Quest is now getting ads in some of its games. And Blaston is basically ground zero for when it's happening. So the game immediately got review bombed on Oculus. I believe they're somewhat review bombed still on Steam. They immediately started coming out and attacking the devs, who this is something that's being driven by Oculus. This is not something that's being driven by the devs. The devs, I honestly, my thought is that they were the only ones to actually provide a mock-up photo. And I mean, not to mention that Facebook just bought a big VR game called Population 1, which, those buildings have a lot of space for ads, don't they? I wonder what's really going to be happening in the next couple weeks. I mean, here's my overall opinion on it, right? I'm not against ads being in the game if they further the world building that the game is attempting to do. I used to work at a theme park. I worked at a theme park for 6 years. I think I can safely say their name, the Universal Orlando. I love the theme parks, right? Some rides at a theme park are sponsored by certain companies, specifically Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola sponsors the Men in Black ride, and now that Men in Black's been like a ride for like 10 years now, and they still have the Facebook advertising. Or I'm sorry, not Facebook, the Coca-Cola advertising. But all the Hydroxyde taking his third point. Man, hydroxyde might be the new master of round 3. Hydrate or dihydrate. But they're all themed very cleverly to the ride, right? If I see a Coca-Cola ad in a Men in Black ride, it's not just gonna be Coca-Cola. It's gonna be like, you know, an alien rating, or, you know, it's gonna show like the main characters of the ride, sort of helping to build the world out a little bit. Hydroxyde taken round 2, we're going to round 3. That's what I want to see for Blast On, and honestly other games that it's in, right? If it's relevant to VR gameplay, like for example, if I saw an ad for Blast On for, let's say, Coke, just because they have ads in every other sporting arena possible, it would make the sense that they would also try and capitalize on the VR market. Now, whether or not, Hydroxyde take a first point, whether or not Coke should be advertising sporting events is a completely different conversation. But let's say that they're just given the platform to do so. If I just see an ad for Coke like I would have seen on TV anyways, I'd be pretty mad. Fried taking his first point back. But if it's something directly related to the game, or it's, you know, a freaking avatar from the game holding up a bottle of Coke and like giving a thumbs up, I'm gonna be less mad about that because it's helping to build the world. The concerning part here is that these ads are being driven by Facebook, and they're going to be targeted ads. So they're going to be different for every person, and they're also probably not going to be related to the game if they're targeted ads. So it's definitely like I'm trying to be part of the conversation instead of just immediately saying ads bad, which to some degree, ads bad. Ads in a paid game, I don't think I will. Just given that piece of information, I would probably be like, no, I would not agree to ads in a paid game. But considering that the game's $10, the ads are only coming to certain platforms of the game, and the mock-ups of the ads right now have them placed pretty far outside of the way, honestly similar to a sporting arena where they're on the edges, that doesn't really bother me. What does bother me is all these people review bombing the game because, ads bad, but ads aren't currently in the game. Like, they aren't in the game. You can't review bomb for something that doesn't exist. Just an announcement that something could exist in the future. So, and it sucks too because the Oculus made this announcement without the Resolution devs knowing about it. And hey, guess what? There's an update that's coming Monday. So a bunch of people, assumed, hey, this next update is going to include the ads. That's horrible. Horrible timing on Facebook's part there. Yeah, again. And you know what? So and that actually there is a nugget of truth. In the next update in the new arena, they are not featuring ads, but they are featuring advertisements for the B Haptics vest that recently got integration with Blast On. So they aren't really just advertising for the sake of advertising. They're letting people know that there's a new functionality. And I mean, I don't see any issue with that, especially if it's something like, hey, we want people to know that they can use a haptics vest, which is super fucking cool in VR. I might get one just for the hell of it. But like, that sort of ad I'm not against. Man, Fry is really trying to get his second point here. 27 strikes and Hydroxyde is just hitting the ground, hitting the floor. Yeah. Yeah, and we're talking about Blast On, which, Fry taking a second point, which Blast On was the only one that was mentioned in the blog post. But again, hey, Facebook just bought a game called Population 1. Ooh, and Hydroxyde taking the win. Shoot, I didn't spectate a lot of the end there, but man, I've been wanting to get the shit out of my system because I've been fucking fighting people on Twitter about it all day.